الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ ابتلى إبراهيم ربه بكلمات فأتمهن قال إني جاعلك للناس إماما قال ومن ذريتي قال لا ينال عهد الظالمين صدق الله العظيم. Regarding ayat number 124 of Surat al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that it is important to mention or remember that time when Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was tested by his Rabb, and he was tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bikalimatin, with some tasks, some words, different types of tests. فَأَتَمَّهُنْ Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he completed those tasks, he passed the test. In the qissa and story of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, we mentioned just a few or some of the tests. And Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had to face. One was the test of giving da'wah to his qawm, to his nation, using hikmah and wisdom and logical evidence, because this is what his people believed in. But his qawm, they turned on him, they turned on Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, and they also attempted to kill him by burning him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam from the fire that they threw him into. Then Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had to face his own father, Azar. And in Surah Maryam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the dialogue that he had with his own father. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he told his father, Ya abati inni qad ja'ani min al-ilm ma lam ya'tika fattabi'ni yahdika siratan sawiyya. That, oh my father, I have been given knowledge which has not been given to you. So follow me, take this path that I'm explaining to you, and I'll guide you to a straight path. And he told his father that, why are you worshipping these idols? They don't have any power to listen to you. They don't have any power to benefit you. And Ya bati la ta'bud ash-shaytan, that, oh my father, do not worship shaitan. Shaitan is an open enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna shaytana kana lirrahmani asiyya. Shaitan is disobedient, very disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you don't give up following shaitan, then I fear, inni akhafu an yamassaka عذاب من الرحمن فتكون للشيطان وليا. That I fear that if you don't give up this system of shirk, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will punish you, and then you will try to seek shaitan as your protector or your friend. So give up this shirk that you are doing. But his father turned on him and even threatened to kill him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the level of respect that Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had for his own father. And when his own father threatened to kill him, لَأَرْجُمَنَّكَ وَهْجُرْنِي مَلِيًّا, that if you don't give up this da'wah you're giving, And his own father told Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, لَإِن لَمْ تَنْتَهِ لَأَرْجُمَنَّكَ, if you don't give up this da'wah you're giving, I'm going to stone you myself. وَهْجُرْنِي مَلِيًّا, and get away from here, just leave. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he told his father, سَأَسْتَغْفِرُ لَكَ رَبِّي إِنَّهُ كَانَ بِي حَفِيًّا. Assalamun alayk, I'm going to give salam to his father that I'm leaving. And I'll seek the forgiveness of my Rabb, I'll seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's forgiveness for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very forgiving. We have already gone over the mas'ala, or the point related to seeking the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from mushrikeen. So long as they're alive, you can make dua for their hidayah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them hidayah and guides them. But once they die, they leave this world in the state of shirk and kufr. Then we're not allowed or permitted to ask for their forgiveness. So this has been made very, very clear in a few places in the Quran, and particularly in Surat Tawbah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, مَا كَانَ لِلنَّبِيِّ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن يَسْتَغْفِرُوا لِلْمُشْرِكِينَ وَلَوْ كَانُوا أُولِي قُرْبَى مِن بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُمْ أَنَّهُمْ أَصْحَابُ الْجَحِيمِ. It does not befit the Nabi, meaning Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, nor does it befit those believers who are with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, or it does not befit all of the believers, أَن يَسْتَغْفِرُوا لِلْمُشْرِكِينَ, that they should seek forgiveness for the mushrikeen, for those who have associated partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَلَوْ كَانُوا أُولِي قُرْبَى, even if those mushrikeen are their relatives. مِن بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُمْ أَنَّهُمْ أَصْحَابُ الْجَحِيمِ, after it has become very clear to them that their relatives or those mushrikeen are from the people of Jahannam, meaning they die in a state of kufr and shirk. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it very clear in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ وَمَن يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا بَعِيدًا. That definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will never forgive shirk, but He will forgive any other sin that He wants. When it comes to shirk, this is an unforgivable sin. And anyone who dies in the state of being a mushrik, in the condition of associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will never forgive that person. Those people will become part of the Ashabul Jahim. There's very great hikmah behind this, and we also understand in our day-to-day lives. It's not difficult to understand. In any society, in any community, in any country, when there are rebels, people who rebel against the system, people who don't acknowledge the authority of the government, the bandits or street robbers or gangs, whatever you want to call them, if they pledge allegiance to their own system of being rebels, or the other government which they are fighting, if these people are caught by the government officials, so what will happen? That person continues to pledge allegiance to the system of being rebels. So there's very strict punishment that any government will give them, and regardless of what that government might be. Even in this time and age, we live in the United States of America, a country that prides itself in freedom. You have the freedom to choose anything you want or do whatever you want. But even then, somebody chooses to rebel against the government, and when the government dictates that a certain group or a certain organization is an enemy to the state or an enemy to the government, anyone who pledges allegiance to that group and is caught and is guilty, there's very, very strict punishment. There may even be more than life in prison if the person is found really guilty. So these systems, it doesn't just apply to one state or one country or one government. Every government in history, even every government in the world, once it is made clear that a certain group or a certain organization, they are an enemy, anyone that pledges allegiance to that group, there's a problem. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this system in our society as human beings so that we may understand when it comes to the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when someone does not acknowledge His authority and they associate partners with Him, they do shirk or they commit shirk and they die in that condition, they do not change. So then there's no forgiveness for them. Why did they not acknowledge the authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? They were given a chance. Even more serious than that is when someone is benefiting from the numerous benefits that any government may give. They're enjoying the benefits of being a citizen. And then it is found that they are rebels. Then it is found that they're rebelling against the state. So those kind of people will be put to death, that you took so much advantage of the numerous benefits. You took so much advantage of the numerous benefits that we have given you, numerous benefits that we promised to our citizens. And even with all of those benefits you're taking, rather than pledging allegiance and loyalty to us, you have pledged allegiance and loyalty to our enemies. How serious that is. Come to the system with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How many bounties Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows on His creation. And how many favors and bounties Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows on us human beings. Even those that do not believe in Him. Even those that challenge His authority. How many bounties and favors Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows on them. And even after all of that, someone denies the authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or denies the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is their Rabb, and they die in that condition of shirk and associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the ultimate major sin. This is the akbarul kaba'ir, the most major of sins. And definitely that type of person who is enjoying all of the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and still not believing in Him, and associating partners with Him and rebelling against His system. So such a person definitely deserves to be punished. Yes, in this world we might be able to argue that, but on the Day of Judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give everyone that level of understanding that they will not question His authority. They will understand that this is ultimate justice. In the Ayat of the Quran, we don't find anyone challenging the fact that they have to go to Jahannam. People will request to be given a second chance. When the criminals will be brought in front of Jahannam, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions their dua. And they'll be looking at Jahannam and they'll be saying, Rabbana, O our Rabb, give us a chance to send us back. فَرْجِعْنَا نَعْمَلْ صَالِحًا, so that we return us back so that we may perform righteous deeds. رَبَّنَا بِصَرْنَا وَسَمِعْنَا, that oh Rabb, we have seen and we have heard everything. فَرْجِعْنَا نَعْمَلْ صَالِحًا, give us a second chance, and give us a second chance to go back. They will understand that what they have done is wrong. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He has established justice and He has given everyone a chance. Before sending us humanity to this world, before sending us human beings to this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it very clear to us that He is our Rabb. He gathered all of the souls of mankind and He asked all of mankind, Alastu bi rabbikum, am I not your Rabb? And all of humanity said, Bala, they acknowledged this contract. And then we were sent to this world. And how much time were given in this world? Some are given 50 years, some are given 70 years. In the past, they used to be given hundreds of years to come to this understanding. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put that sense into the very fitrah of insan, into the very nature of this human being. But whenever we human beings, we turn against our nature, then we end up being deviated. We go astray. So that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us so much time in this world to understand and come to this conclusion. And to find Him. But even then, if you cannot find Him, So then obviously a person really deserves to be punished. Child is given a test paper and told that you have your whole life to fill out this paper, and only a few questions on the paper. And you can use any resource you want. Even then the child gets them wrong. It's like, come on. Now how could you possibly get it wrong? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the question and gave us the answers. Even then we get it wrong. This is something really... that means that we're really, really incompetent. We're ruining ourselves. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it very clear, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيَظْلِمَهُمْ وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not oppress them in any way. But these people, they oppressed themselves. So this is why the mushrik, they'll definitely be punished. And their punishment is such that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it clear to the believers that don't even ask for their forgiveness. You cannot guide whom you love. Even Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he's addressed in the Quran, إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. You cannot guide whoever you love. It's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide whomsoever He wants. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives hidayah and guidance to those people who have the zeal to find the truth. If someone doesn't even want to try, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't give it to them. It's very easy to understand, even in this world. If you want success, there are those who actually work for it. And then you have the lazy people always complaining why they're not successful. Because you're not trying. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put the system there. So similarly with hidayah and guidance, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it the most valuable gift that can be given to any human being. He doesn't just give it to anyone. Someone has to actually try, have the zeal to want to be guided. So once that hidayah is then fixed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also makes it very clear that Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, when it became clear to him that his father was a rebel against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he also stopped asking the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his father. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was tested with his qawm, he was tested with his family, and there was still a third test. Each stage is more severe. You can deal with your friends, you can deal with the outside world. And there are many things you may do with other people, you may not do with your family. It's very difficult. How angry you become at other people, you might even sever your relationship with them. When it comes to family, very difficult. Especially parents, it's very, very difficult. Even if you know you're 100% right, and they say you're wrong, so you have to say you're wrong. There's very little you can do. There's one stage even more severe than that, more difficult than that. And that is the people of authority. There may be many things you will say to your family, you may say to your, right? But it would require, you may even say to your parents, but it would require a lion's heart to go and say those things to a police officer, or to say those things to someone in authority, a governor or a mayor, or even go further, a senator, or go even further, the president. Maybe not particularly this president. He's tweeting and we might tweet back, that's different. But face to face with especially an oppressive person, someone who has a history of being oppressive, a powerful leader, very difficult face to face to say something to them. That is why there are particular Anbiya alayhimus salam, prophets and messengers, and Rusul mentioned in the Quran. And one of the greatest honors that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them is that He gives them the honor of being mentioned as someone who stood up to the oppressor of the time. Amongst them was also Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. And the other famous case is the case of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam faced Fir'aun. Just to give you an idea of how many zalimeen and oppressors have gone in history. How many and how oppressive they are. But throughout the Quran you find a mention of Fir'aun. Why? Because he was the greatest of oppressors. He was such an oppressor that he's mentioned in the Quran. You just think about that. And not in one place, not in two. How many places he's mentioned? Fir'aun. What kind of an oppressor he must have been. Also the case of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was ordered. And now you have given da'wah to your qawm, you have given da'wah to your family. Now go to the authority. So the king of that time was also a very, very powerful ruler. And he was so powerful that he told the people to worship him and do sajda to him. Namrud. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam that he also give him da'wah. So Namrud summoned Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Namrud heard that the people are now slowly listening to him, looking at him, that he's saved from the fire, and this kind of person must be something else. They wanted to now give him reverence. So Namrud called Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. And he started debating and arguing with Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surat al-Baqarah, 3 ayahs after Ayat al-Kursi, in ayat number 258. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, أَلَمْ تَرَ إِلَى الَّذِي حَاجَّ إِبْرَاهِيمَ فِي رَبِّهِ أَنْ آتَاهُ اللَّهُ الْمُلْكَ. Didn't you see that one who was arguing with Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam regarding his Rabb, regarding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? أَنْ آتَاهُ اللَّهُ الْمُلْكَ. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him kingdom and power. He was a very, very powerful king of that time. إِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّيَ الَّذِي يُحْيِي وَيُمِيتُ. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he told this king that my Rabb Allah, He is the one who gives life and death. He controls life and death. So this king tried to be smart, The king brought 2 prisoners. One prisoner was on death row to be killed, and the other prisoner had committed a small crime. He was supposed to be let go the next day. So the king ordered that the one who committed the small crime kill him. So they killed him. And the one on death row was supposed to be put to death. The king said, okay, let him go. The king looked at Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, and he said, Ana uhyi wa umit. I also give life and death. La ilaha illallah. What a strength. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he said, okay. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he told this king, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْتِي بِالشَّمْسِ مِنَ الْمَشْرِقِ فَأَتِي بِهَا مِنَ الْمَغْرِبِ. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he said, my Allah, my Rabb, He brings the sun from the east. Sunrise from the east. So if you have such power, please make the sunrise from the west. فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ. So now the king had no answer. He was... Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam shut him down. What else? What can you say? And everyone was standing. So now the reality of kings and people in authority is that when you embarrass them in front of their power, they become angry. So Namrud, he ordered his army that attack Ibrahim. Namrud had a very powerful army. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam and all the people that were there, the king ordered that attack Ibrahim alayhi salam. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he also turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought an army of mosquitoes. Those little... Yes, in America, mashallah, we have such facilities. You don't understand how annoying a mosquito can be. But you go back home, for those who know what I mean by back home, and even you try to use the bathroom, ya subhanallah. It's an experience. The mosquitoes and the flies. Oh. You can't sleep at night. Nighttime you're trying to sleep and they come beside your ear. And half the night you're just slapping around trying to make sure that the mosquito doesn't bite you. Allahu Akbar. In America, mashallah, you sit in closed buildings and they spray so many things all around, all this pest control and whatever, so there's nothing really there. That's a different story, but the mosquitoes came and they attacked those people. And they can also carry diseases. And they can be very, very harmful. Not one or two, a whole swarm of mosquitoes came. And one mosquito also went up the nose of Namrud. And this mosquito was paralyzed. One of its wings was broken. So this mosquito managed to go up. You know how annoying that is? And it started eating the brain of Namrud. And that Namrud was telling people to do sajda to him. Now when people would come to do sajda to him, so Namrud would say, wait, mosquito is bothering me here, hit me here. So the people would take off their shoe and beat him on the head. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to disgrace someone, This is the disgrace that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to Namrud. Namrud was the first one to claim that people should worship him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made an example of him, disgraced him. Finally, there are two narrations as to what happened. One of his ministers of Namrud said, you know, you're a king, we can give you a golden head. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants to destroy someone, uses their own intelligence against them. The king said, yes, this head is bothering me, let's change my head, you know. So they took care of him. The other opinion is that this mosquito was eating the brain of Namrud, and it caused a disease, and Namrud died from that. And then that mosquito came out, it was still alive. The narrations mention that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told this mosquito that you killed one of my greatest enemies, and for that I want to favor you, I'll give you whatever you want from this world. So the mosquito, he said, oh Allah, I don't want nothing from this world, but my wing is broken. Please fix my wing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted the dua of this mosquito and fixed his wing. Sometimes you don't understand the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Go ask a blind man what he wants. If he was given a choice, take anything from this world, he'll tell you, give me eyesight. Ask a deaf person, they'll tell you, give me hearing. These favors. So also this mosquito understand the value of his wings. That's where this famous narration comes. That the whole world with everything in the treasures of this world is not even equal to the wing of a mosquito. This was that mosquito that proved that. Sometimes we don't understand the value of the favors that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows on us. So this is how Namrud was destroyed. And this was also a great test for Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, to be able to stand in front of such a zalim, such an oppressor, and give da'wah. And Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he passed that as well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding and give all of us the tawfiq to practice His deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم نور قلوبنا بالقرآن وزين أخلاقنا بالقرآن ونجنا من النار بالقرآن وادخلنا في الجنة بالقرآن. اللهم اجعل القرآن لنا في الدنيا قرينا وفي القبر مونسا وعلى الصراط نورا وفي الجنة رفيقا ومن النار سترا وحجابا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. سبحان الله.